Hey guys, thanks for watching. Today we're going to do a quick video on syncing the Godox X-Pro controller with the v860 version 2 or the TT685 Speedlights. Syncing them is exactly the same. These two Speedlights are essentially the same light with the exception of the battery used. So all of the functions and all of the buttons do the exact same thing on both the v860 and the TT685. So just a real quick walkthrough on getting them communicating. When you get your X-Pro out of the package, go ahead and pop you some batteries in there, and when you turn it on, you're typically going to have a screen that looks like this. See if you can see that pretty well there. Adjust it and get it so it's easier. So if you see here, we've got buttons down the side, and there's groups. There's little letters beside each button. You got Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D, Group E. Okay? Those signify the different groups that you can set your light in. Group A is typically the first group that people use, and out of the package it normally defaults to TTL mode. So if you want to change the mode on the light that you're shooting, hit that A button right there, highlight it, and then go down here, hit the mode button, and that'll change it over to manual, and then it'll change it to where it has the two little dashes there. That is off. So hit the mode again, you go back to TTL, hit it again, you go to manual. If you want to adjust the power while this is highlighted, just turn your wheel. When you get done, hit the set button, and that locks that power setting in. If you want to go to a different group, then again you'll just go down here to Group B, turn Group B on, and if you want, you can shoot it in TTL while you shoot Group A in manual mode. So if you want to adjust your TTL compensation there, you can adjust it all the way up to 3 stops above and 3 stops below. Lock it in. Turn on Group C, and we want to take that one. We can do it again. We can go over to manual, turn it all the way up, lock it in. Now this controller will send all of that information to your light based on whichever group your light is in. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and turn off Group C, going to go ahead and turn off Group B, and we're just going to leave Group A on. I'm going to set this to the side for a moment and then show you how to set up the speed light so that it will communicate with this controller. So this is where people get confused. Turn on your light, and typically when it comes out of the box, it's going to come out of the box and it's going to be in TTL mode right here. This is set up so that you can just pop it on top of your camera and be ready to go. But we want to use it with that controller over there. So what we want to do is we want to get over here. There's a little button with a little Z underneath it. We're going to tap that button a couple of times, and the first screen that we go to is a screen with a little lightning bolt looking icon up here in the left hand corner. That is signifying that it is an optical master mode. Hit it again, the screen turns orange, still have the little lightning bolt there. That still means it is in optical mode. And then down here it says slave, so we know it's in slave mode. And this is the mode that a lot of people go to thinking that that's where they need to be with the X-Pro. But since the X-Pro uses radio communication, we want to be in radio mode, not optical mode. So we're going to hit it one more time, and you'll notice we have this little Wi-Fi antenna looking icon right here. Bring that up and let you see it a little bit better. So that signifies that we're in radio mode. Now in the middle here it also says that we're in master. So if we wanted to use this on top of the camera to control other lights off camera, this is the mode we would go to. But that's not what we're doing right now. Right now we are going to set it up to be a slave to the X-Pro. So we're going to hit that little Z button right there one more time. And if you notice, we still have our icon up here. It looks like the Wi-Fi antenna. We've got the orange screen, and now it says slave. Right here it also says channel 1 and group A. So channel 1, group A, slave mode, radio antenna. Notice it's in TTL mode. Don't worry about what mode that is in, because that will be fully controlled by our X-Pro controller. So we're going to set this down to the side for a moment. I'm going to take the X-Pro off of my camera here just to make it a little easier and be able to walk through things a little bit more simple with you. So if you'll look right here, we've got, I just set up my flash so that it is in slave mode, and then my controller is in manual mode. Well, we don't see any changes over here yet, and if you want to see those changes immediately, just hit that test button right there. You notice the light just fired, and if you'll notice right here, see if we can get that up so you can see it. Now we see that it is in manual mode, 1/64 power, just like what is shown on here. You can see that. So if I want to make an adjustment here, I'll make an adjustment on my X-Pro, turn that wheel, lock it in, and if you'll notice on my light, the light changed exactly to what I had on my controller. Pretty simple. Let's highlight that. We can go lock it down, take it all the way down to 1/128 power, and if you'll notice, let me light that up a little bit so you can see, 1/128 power. So we are good to go. Notice it's changing as I'm scrolling on the wheel here. So let's say that when you take it out of the box and you get everything going here, you're not on channel 1. In order to change the channel, you've got some little icons that pop up on your screen here. Right over here it says CH, that's the channel. So you're going to hit that button, channel highlights. You can adjust that channel to whichever one you want to go to. Okay, so let's put it up on channel 15. So now we're on channel 15, but notice my controller is still on channel 1. Well, I need to change the channel on my controller. So to do that, deselect everything, make sure nothing else on the X-Pro is highlighted. Okay, look on the screen on the bottom left, you have a ZM/CH. That stands for, let's go back. That stands for zoom and channel. So we're going to press and hold this button right here underneath it, and then it highlights that channel up there. So then I can use my wheel and I can adjust to channel 15 where I want to be. Channel 15, lock it in, and my light fires. So after we've got all that going, we've got everything communicating, and we want to change the sync. Like we want to go to high-speed sync, or we want to go to rear curtain sync. So we'll go to this main screen here. There's a little tab that says sync, the button underneath it, this little icon right there. Notice that, that is high-speed sync. And if I want to change the sync to rear curtain sync, notice that change right there. That is rear curtain sync. Another thing that happens occasionally with people, they'll accidentally hit this button right here, this one that has a little magnifying glass and TCM, and they'll wind up with a screen that looks just like this, and there's only one group on that screen. Well, you can cycle through, you can hit that group button, turn it, and it'll go to group B, turn it again, it'll go to group C, and on, and you get back to group A. Well, if you like this larger readout, this button right here is what gets you there. Okay, so I'm not a big fan of just having one group on the screen at a time. I prefer to have multiple groups showing so that when I'm using multiple lights I know exactly which light is set to what and all that fun stuff. So I always keep it on this screen right here. But whatever works for you, works for you. Let me adjust my sync back so that I'm not in rear curtain sync anymore, so that way next time I take a picture it fires at the right time. So again, change the power, roll it right there, or you can hit the set button here, it highlights it, roll it through, you're good to go. If I want to activate another group, I highlight that group, hit the mode button, put it in whichever mode that I want to put it in, make an adjustment. There we go. If you have any questions or anything, leave them down below. I'll be happy to answer those for you. I will make a more in-depth video in the near future showing different functions and capabilities of these lights. Have a great day.